No.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Is Kim on the line audibly?
Who?
Yeah. Amy. You mean
Amy Kim.
Yeah.
Amy Joe?
Joe. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I don't know who that is.
Mary Shebley.
No, I know you, Mary. I'm talking to the phone number. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I wanted to ask you a quick question
Oh.
before we started the meeting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Ask me.
My city email, m.shebley@burnsmill.org.
Mm-hmm.
How do I bring that to the screen? I'm in Chrome and I have 2 other emails and I don't know how to get the 3rd email up.
Okay, well, if you would come by, it'd probably be a lot easier because what I did was I accidentally, because Cindy, I need to mess with yours too. Because what I did, you remember whenever I tried to get your emails to automatically forward to your charter email? Well, it gave me an alert and it disabled your email now. And so, because it's like a threat, like they thought, someone was maybe, I guess, I don't know.
Fooling around. Yeah.
Yeah, so I need to fix that too. And Allison, she isn't getting hers either. So Mary, are you getting emails from the Burns Mill?
I don't know. I don't know how to open it.
Okay.
What search engine do I use to open it? It won't open on Chrome.
You should, it should be able to open on Chrome. It should. So whenever the invite was sent to you, you should be able just to click on it and then it should automatically pop up for you. But
I didn't get that invite, I guess.
okay, well, come by and then it'll be easier.
Okay, I
If you
will
just want to
do
come.
that.
Yeah, then, and you too, Cindy, whenever. I'll be here. I'm always here.
Okay, we'll come up.
Okay.
Hey, Amy,
Yes.
mine is 8784 on the phone probably.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sounds good.
So if we need Glenn, he'll remote in by phone. Can he vote that way, Allison? On
Yeah.
phone without,
Yeah, he can.
Okay.
Yeah, he can. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
I
I had these headphones on, so I wasn't sure.
So have we had any applicants for our job?
Yeah, we've had quite a few. We just posted them on like the MML website, the city clerk's website. So we're leaving them open till September 30th, but we have gotten some just from like Indeed that like people with degrees and experience. So, I mean, there was one guy that I really liked, but I'm not sure that it's going to work like logistically from where he lives. But anyway, I talked to Rob about kind of a process, and we're going to do some like the people who just don't fit, we're just going to put those to the side. And then the ones that we like, we're going to do like a group interview, and then we'll bring them to the board so you can interview them and then you can decide who you like.
So you've had quite a few people who have expressed an interest.
Yeah, Amy, how many applicants do you think we've gotten? Like maybe 20, 15?
We've gotten a lot. Yes, I'm going to
Yeah.
say probably like 20.
And I mean,
Got
I'll
4
say
more today.
Wow.
more than half of them are not. There are people who have like run a business, but not like a government, and I think we need somebody with, more experience where we're at. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, we are getting attention, which is, half the battle. So
that is
I think we're going to get somebody that I have a good feeling about it. So
good.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Hey, Rob.
evening.
Hello.
Hey, Rob.
How you going?
Are we expecting Robin and Bob?
I'm looking, is Deborah?
Robin?
Glenn?
Bob
Amy?
sent an email. He is not going to be able to make it.
Okay,
And Glenn's not going to be able to make it. And I have not heard from Robin.
Hmm.
so that's not good without a quorum.
So Rob, Glenn is driving and he can call in if
Okay.
need be.
Okay, I think we may need him to call in because
Has anybody put in a call to Robin? I haven't seen her for a couple of months.
I know she was on vacation last board meeting, I believe. Maybe it was this one. Let me look through my emails. She had sent something a while ago. Her notes said on the 9/7, that's this meeting, it says, unfortunately, I can't attend 9/7. I'm traveling and my flight home got moved back. So Robin will not be able to make it. So yes, we'll need Glenn to join via phone if he can, Deb.
All right, I'm trying to get a hold of him and he's in a dead zone right now, but he should be out probably in 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
So I would say start without him and then whenever I can get a hold of him, he'll join.
Yeah, so we can't call the meeting to order,
Yeah, until
but
we
we
have,
can,
right?
but we can go ahead and discuss the things on the agenda that don't require a vote. And then once we get Glenn on, we can call the meeting to order, vote, and then go from there.
Okay. Give me just a minute to get something here, so. Kind of. I'm sorry, trying to do a couple things here at once. All right, that's done. So do we want to start with the calling the meeting to order, or do we want to, how do we proceed? We can't call it to order. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't call it to order. So what we should do is just like things on the agenda that don't require a vote, but are just kind of like topics of conversation. We can just kind of go through them.
Okay.
Can we talk about the new business first and old business?
Sure.
Yeah, so we,
Yeah, 'cause
old business occupancy permits. So what I think we've got a gap in occupancy permits. Is that correct, Allison? The reason we got.
Yeah.
this-
Yeah, so well, the occupancy permits, one of the issues was that there seemed to be some confusion as to whether or not we should be doing them. We are doing occupancy permits, we've resolved that issue. And we had a staff meeting on Tuesday where we came up with a system on how we're going to keep track of these permits. So we've got the permit situation has just been there's moving parts that don't seem to be coordinating. And I think that people in the public are getting upset because they're not able to get responses quickly. So like I said, we've come up with an organizational system to try and resolve that, but we are now doing occupancy permits. So we are back on track with that.
Okay.
Who is issuing them? Who goes to check it out?
Dave or Bob.
Bob Schmidt? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I add to that? So we do have in our ordinance, we require occupancy permits, and Dave used to always do those. So yeah, it's been quite challenging without Dave and his position not being filled.
Yeah.
Well,
And so I think,
Go on, Allison.
Rob, did you see that I sent you, because the posting we had was for a part-time code enforcement. I think we were going to make that full-time again.
Yes.
Did you get a chance to review that posting? I may have just missed it.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't know if I needed to respond, but yeah, I reviewed it and I think that looks fine. So we need to
Okay.
proceed on with that.
We,
Amy, do you,
sorry,
Go ahead.
this is, Monica actually, updated that and we did post it.
the
'Cause it
full-time
was-
one?
Yes, because it was posted
Okay.
on Indeed part-time, but it's been updated to full-time.
Okay, I couldn't
Or-
remember if I sent that to you or not.
Yes, yes, it's
Okay.
done.
And what is the starting salary for that position?
18 an hour?
No, it's more than that, but I can look real quick. They'll give me a second.
I think it was 1920 something up to 21. That's what was budgeted for.
Plus, don't we have a truck or do we not buy that?
It's still on order. We don't have it yet. But
That was
yes, it's on order.
Yeah, a little Ford Escape, I think is what we were getting, Mary.
Okay.
So how many occupancy permits do we do a month? Generally,
Hey, Alice, it's Travis. Just seeing
Bob, do you know?
I don't right offhand, maybe, I've done probably about 10 in the past month, and I don't think that's all of them that came in. I don't know where they went or if they got misplaced.
And Bob, what triggers an occupancy permit? So how does that occur? How do we know that somebody needs, do they just come up and say, hey, I'd like to get an occupancy permit, or do we get notification?
Online, it's usually any transfer of the home ownership. You know, right now, a lot of the sellers have been doing it because it's hard to get a regular inspection and people don't want to wait. So they go through and have me go through and basically get off of what's wrong, and then they either fix it or, you know, do it cheaper to the buyer. And then if they call back in for
So you're doing a home inspection for the,
just for occupancy. So I'm just doing like an
but I mean, it sounds like, to me, that sounds like it's a home inspection because it's cheaper and it's quicker to have you do it. And
yeah, but I'm not doing as detailed. I'm not climbing up on a roof and checking the condition of the
sure.
roof and all.
Yeah.
I look visual, you know, and
right.
I'm just doing a lot of safety. Make sure there's no cracked glass. Make sure the outlets, GFIs are working.
Good. Okay.
You know, hand railings are up.
But once again, so
Stuff like
that's
that.
between the buyer and the seller if they choose to do that or not, but there's still nothing really that hard fast triggers that. Is it?
Right. Yeah.
I thought we got a notification from Ameren when the,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that we get the notification when the utilities get switched over that they're like, so
Is it-
in theory, the realtor should say to the person, you have to get an occupancy permit. And usually a realtor will like coordinate that, making sure it gets done.
Yeah.
But if the realtor doesn't, or if it's a private sale and the person doesn't ask for an occupancy permit, Ameren getting the name switched over on the account will trigger it and they notify us.
okay.
And what we should be checking for is just to make sure that there's no like glaring deficiencies. It's important to have them because, you know, you want to catch like exposed wire or cracked
Right.
driveways
Yeah, it's
or
a
whatever it
safety
may
issue
be.
there.
So,
Yeah.
so that's all we're inspecting for is safety code,
Okay.
you know, health safety issues. So
Right.
is that true for the trailers in the trailer park? Same thing?
should be. Although I will say, I don't know if the people in the trailer park pay their own utilities or if they're paid by the trailer park, you know, so like they may not get switched over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not a perfect system. Like somebody could for sure slip through the cracks, you know.
I would.
Frank, do you know
Yeah.
if those utilities are paid by the people?
Yeah, they pay their own utilities.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like the code enforcement was posted at $19 to $21 an hour.
Okay. And the code enforcement job would do occupancy permits as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, I think that's a good start. Let's see what type of individuals we get applying. for the position. Any other discussion on occupancy permits?
I don't have anything.
I
So
don't.
I guess I could share the screen since I'm looking at it. You guys aren't, so.
Do these people need to have some kind of certificate that they're qualified to do these inspections or?
So I believe it's ICC certified is what we want them to be. It's difficult to get an ICC certified inspector, and so we may have to get that certification, once they're here. If they had all those certifications, they would be pretty valuable.
Mhm. Is that listed on the application too, that we'd like those type of qualifications? I don't
Yes,
recall.
it is. Yeah, it's actually says it, I think, just like that, that we want them to be certified, but if they're not, they need to become certified. And so,
Okay, great. Good. Okay. Okay, then I guess the other thing we can discuss here is the portable building for the police department under new business.
yeah.
So we, Franken would like to have us consider purchasing a portable building like you see up at Hood's. In the parking lot there, they have a variety of different styles of buildings there, but it'd be somewhere to use for storage. We're just so crammed full of space up there at City Hall. And Frank, I'll let you make the plea for it, and we can talk more about the building then in a minute, but you can explain the requirement.
There's no storage left here at the police department or over at City Hall. I need a dry location. It doesn't necessarily have to be weatherproof, but it needs to be dry. We can keep it locked up. It's not going to be real valuable stuff, but I just need somewhere to start keeping things. I am completely out of room here for this, and there should be enough room for City Hall to probably put a few things out there also. Some boxes probably with some, non critical paperwork in them and things like that. So I'm just hoping to get something back there. We've got a place to put it. I've talked to Bob. We can.
So let's explain where you're talking about putting it to, Frank. So
directly behind where I park the police cars. The back of it would kind of butt up to the wood line. There's about a 15-20 foot grass line behind the parking lot. Near the street light back there. Bob can run electric to it, or like Rob had mentioned, we could maybe put a solar fan in it and a solar light to have some kind of light if somebody has to go in there at nighttime. But it's we could put a rock base down because it has a solid floor. And I think I've talked to Bob about it, and Bob is pretty positive that he can get that done without much problem and not much cost, just for rock and digging out and putting a pipe in, which he actually already has one over there for the drainage.
So it wouldn't be on the blacktop.
No.
because what we're talking about is something that's approximately 12 foot wide by 20 foot long. So it's a fairly good size building. But we need something that big it's silly to get one of these little tiny small 8 by 10 ones, because you just fill it up in no time and it just be useless. And additionally, we had stored stuff down at maintenance shop, but I think the floods events that we've had there proved that we probably shouldn't be putting anything of any value down there, paperwork especially, that are just or anything that could be damaged by water.
Yeah, I lost like 7 years of police reports down there that are gone and not recoverable.
Yeah, so we definitely think it'd be a good fit up there. So segueing over into the cost of this, Frank and I went up there and walked through a couple of these units, and they're running $8,000 to $9,000 to $10,000, something like that, depending on the style and the features. We certainly don't want anything really too fancy. We don't want a bunch of windows or anything like that. So I think we'd be, around maybe 8,500, $9,000. Frank, you'd also talk to them about seeing if they could work out some type of discount for us, since it'd be for the city.
They were checking to see if they have if this company offers like a government rate for government purchases. So I'm still waiting to hear back from that.
So what are the safety features? It's going to be an invitation for kids to break in.
Well, luckily we have a police department right there, so.
Yeah, well,
Hopefully
they're
that
not
works.
always there.
Well, the way the doors are designed, Mary, I could put two very significant padlocks on them. The new camera system, when it gets installed, there'll be a camera that'll actually face almost right at the front of where we're planning to put that storage unit. And we have the initial cost of the unit itself, but Bob and I spent some time out there, and I think Bob could verify this, but I think the price of the unit that Rob was talking about is delivered. And I think Bob could actually do the pad, the flat work, and the drain for a very insignificant amount of money. Bob can verify that if he wants.
Are you gonna need shelving and indoor lighting?
Yeah, it will need shelving at some point, some 2x4s and some plywood. We
Yeah.
can put down, but as far as the lighting, I think Rob had a good idea, maybe just put a solar panel up on the roof and one light on the inside with a switch. We're not gonna need much light in there, but.
They're pretty light too. When we walked into them, Frank, there was no lights down there at Hoods. It was during the day and you could see relatively well in there. So a little 4 or 8 foot LED strip light in there would certainly.
Oh yeah, it'd be great.
Be enough to light it up. I don't have anything electronic, but this is let me see if that'll focus in on. Come on. No. Well, we take a picture of it and I'll share it that way. Let's see, maybe it just doesn't like the paper.
Yeah.
Here, maybe this will work. This is a picture.
Oh, that's the shed?
Yeah, it's got the double doors on the front of it. Oh, it doesn't focus. And there's no windows and it's metal all around. So it's metal sides, metal roof. And then the only wood entry is the doors on the front of it. So it's
Yeah, it looks like a small Quonset hut.
yeah, similar to it. It's like say 20 by 12. And the price on their pricing sheet for that was
But it was like 86 or something like that.
74.90. So we'll have to talk to them about it because I think there's some different features on them and that. So like say between 7,500 and 9,000. And obviously we don't have to pay tax on that, but it is certainly the cost per square foot that we're paying right now for City Hall to store things in. This would be a cheaper solution and get us a little bit more room.
Okay.
So I personally think we should proceed on with this and help get a little bit more space for.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing we'd have to worry about is mices. If you got those plastic buckets, you might be able to keep the mice and critters out, but
Yeah.
just, does it get tied down to the foundation?
I'm not sure. I've not ever dealt with the, I do have one in our yard that's an older one and I did post into the ground to secure it. So it wouldn't.
This thing's pretty big and pretty heavy, Mary. I can't imagine.
It might be a good idea to at least ask them if it should, but you're right, Frank. It's a fairly substantial unit. It's all 2x4 framed and it looks like nicely built. So, and from a mouse perspective too, it looked fairly tight. So there wasn't gaping holes in there where rodents could get in, but they'll always find their way in.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Definitely needed.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, we'll proceed on with it then. So Frank, I'd suggest before we do any further site work on this, we talk to Hoods again about it to see how, get the specs on it and then maybe have Bob come down there too to understand exactly what.
All right, I'll meet with Bob and we'll take care of it. Thank you.
Thanks. Is that Glenn that joined?
Yes.
It is, but I just lost him.
Well,
Okay,
Hold
well, let
on,
me,
he's calling back.
okay.
You there? Okay. All right, speak.
All right, so let's go ahead and call the meeting to order and
Okay.
vote on this stuff real quick in case we lose him.
Sure. Okay, great. So I would like to call the City of Burns Mill regular Board of Alderpersons meeting to order for September 7th, 2022. As with standard practice, I'd like everybody to please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation under God.
nation under God,
Indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty and justice
liberty
for
and justice for all.
All right, very good. Thank you. Okay, roll call. Mary Shibley,
Here,
Galen Harrison,
Here,
Cindy Davies,
here.
Glenn LaVenture. Robin Harris is excused and Bob Prado is excused. Item 4, is there anything we need to amend or on the agenda, or can we approve it as submitted?
As submitted.
Okay,
I
can
motion to approve the agenda for our September 7th as submitted.
I'll second.
Mary,
Aye.
Galen,
Aye.
Cindy,
Aye.
and Glenn. Okay, moving on. Item 5, amending and approving the minutes from the August 17th, 2022 board meeting.
I just noticed one thing in the roll call in the beginning. You said Robin Harris was present and she was excused for that meeting.
Yes, she was, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a YouTube link in the next sentence where she was excused, so need to get rid of that too.
Okay.
And also under the resolutions, when I seconded, it just says G Harris, not G Harrison.
Okay.
So it needs to be changed to Harrison because it could be confusing with.
Robin Harris is correct, yeah. Good point.
Anything else? If nothing else, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with those corrections.
Second.
Mary,
Aye.
Galen,
Aye.
Cindy,
Aye.
and Glenn.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item 6, city warrants and financials. We've got 2 separate warrant lists we're going to look at. First of all, we're going to review the August 25th, 2022 warrants and then the September 6th one. So let me go to the first one
You
here.
know, you might,
Yep.
we probably should have amended the agenda. We may want to do the stuff we need to vote on in case Glenn loses
Oh, we'll give them. Don't worry.
connection.
We're getting close here.
Okay.
So
I trust you.
yeah. So the run looks different here because Amy's been working on how this is produced and that. So it's a little bit different format, and you'll see the next one that we look at is a little bit different too, and I think it'll be a better format to go from. But this is what we have to work with now. So this first batch of warrants that we're looking at comes to a total of $5,064.76. Or I'm sorry, 72 cents.
Where do you see that total?
I added it up real quick.
Oh,
No, I had Amy gave me the number. She wasn't able to get a total on here, so we ran through it and got a total dollar amount for it.
So who is Paul Wang? What is that for?
Is Paul Wang is the psychologist I use for police recruits.
Okay. And then Tim Bennett?
Plumbing company that we use.
And then
This
what? Go ahead.
gives you an idea. If you look at the code down here on each one, like Tim Bennett, that's maintenance. The Paul Wang was pre-employment. But
Yeah,
we'll
it's
try,
just, it's
we'll try to
hard-
make this a little clear. I know.
Yeah, it's hard to see who it is.
Yep.
And then traffic control, what was that for?
That was for the signage. for that
Signage,
When we, yeah, signage. for
when you
the,
close down Upper Burns Mill? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
okay, all right. All right, I don't see anything else.
I'll move to approve warrants in the amount that Rob just said.
$5,064.72.
And I'll second.
Okay, Mary,
Aye.
Galen,
Aye.
Cindy,
Aye.
Glenn.
Yes.
Okay, now moving on to the next warrant list. You can see the format's a little bit different here, so we're working with it. So this is a warrant list, a total of $19,982.60. Big piece of that was basic asphalt. And once again, Bob, I think that was for up at Clearview and Upper.
Yes, sir.
PNM excavating for 3,500, up there at,
Yeah.
same thing, so.
Now that's gonna come out of capital
Yep,
improvements.
yes, it will. Yep.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
And Precision Delta is what?
It's my training ammunition.
Okay.
It's 11 to 12 months to get it in stock. I found somebody,
Yeah.
3 companies that take 11 months to a year. I found a
Wow.
company that had just enough for what I needed, so I grabbed it up.
That's crazy.
Yep.
All right.
What are we doing at Ruther Ford for $500?
Was one of my cars had the something to do with a fan belt pulley, an internal part of the engine had to be replaced on one of the Ford.
Oh, we do have Fords. That's right. We still have a couple of those Fords. Yeah.
Okay, I don't see anything else, so I make a motion to approve warrants for September 6th for $19,982.60.
Second.
Glenn,
Yes.
Cindy,
Aye.
Galen,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye.
All right, go and run on back to item number 7 here, public hearing. We have public hearing scheduled for next board meeting at 6:45 PM on September 21st to consider setting the tax levy for this coming year.
Okay.
And are we considering raising it then?
I don't think there's much room to raise.
Well, it's, what is
We'll
it?
have
I thought there was like a 0.5% that we can go up.
I don't know that you can go up 0.5%. I think it might be less than that. I don't know what it is, but
Mhm.
we'll present it to you at the next meeting.
Yeah, we'll have that detail available, but yeah, it's not, yeah, we can't just jump way up. I think we are limited on how high we can go. I remember last year we chose to keep it, I believe, flat and not have an increase.
I think we
And then,
have a little bit of a cushion.
Yes, yeah, there is a little bit still. We could go if we choose to, so
Just
we'll make
point
sure we
something, yeah.
have some of that detail worked up, Galen, and provide it to the board beforehand so we can look it over and it won't just be a surprise at the public hearing at 6:45, but we'll discuss it at that
right.
point. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt?
Sure, Deb.
In the last meeting, we had all the paperwork for it, and you can go up to 1/2 cent. So the voters approved a 1/2 cent back when, and then we took a reduction at one time in like 2011. And you can only go up to that 0.5% on an even year. There is a process for that, and Allison or I can look into it, because I remember we considered it at one time. So if you guys are considering it, we'll have to find out what that process is before next meeting.
Okay, well, we'll need to
I
see
think
where
we,
are.
yeah, can you find out what that process is? Because I do think you all need to consider it. And we can
Yeah.
talk more about that at the time, but let's find out what we need to do, because I think that this might be a good time to consider. I mean, because it's been approved already,
Right,
so
right.
this is what we can capture. But we can talk more about that at the hearing, but let's find out. Debbie, can you find that process out for us?
Yeah, I have that all
Okay,
from last time.
perfect.
I'll
And
get
then
it.
Yeah, Allison, we'll work next week on getting something formally put together to show to the board exactly what we're proposing.
Yeah, it looks like we have 0.37 right now. We can go up to 0.5.
Yeah, so it's not a big
Yeah, it's not a huge jump.
0.13, so it's still something. So every little bit
It is.
helps.
Right, exactly. I'm more inclined to keep it level, but
But if we got it in, like Ellison said, it's approved already, so we may want to consider that. And you know, Frank will spend it, so. On a
And so
phone, huh?
and so we can only reduce it in even number of years, right?
Well, we can only increase it in even numbered years.
Okay. You can reduce it anytime.
I don't know why they reduced it. I don't know what that process was. It's before I came on board.
Okay.
All right. Well, more to come on that. So
Yeah.
just remind everybody, it's 6:45, and it'll be on the same Zoom meeting that we're today. So I think Amy come up with a good idea. All of the standard board meetings are the same Zoom meeting, so we don't have to regenerate a new Zoom invite. Okay, moving on to recognitions, proclamations. I don't think we have any there. Item 9, old business. We already have discussed occupancy permits. And item 10, new business. We discussed portable buildings, so we'll go on to our resolutions. So item B, we have resolution number 600-22.
I'll motion to
Okay.
read resolution 600.
Do we need to read them anymore?
We're not reading anymore, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, we still have to.
Read and then voted on it without voting to.
Well, we need to discuss it first and then vote on it, or read it and then vote on it.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, we don't have to have a motion to read it.
Right.
So I think the paperwork following this resolution regarding the crystal heating and cooling and 2 separate is a recommendation by Bob Schmidt. So
Mhm.
I have no problem with it. I think that, we've already done it, haven't we, basically?
Well, this for the maintenance, isn't it? The ongoing.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is,
Oh, this is a maintenance.
Yeah, we've already paid for the unit itself. This is just to maintain it, warranty.
no.
No.
This is for my
no,
HVAC for my building.
Oh, for your building.
yeah, this is for that
Yeah.
split unit system,
Oh, okay, the mini split. Okay.
mini split, right?
Oh, 2 separate indoor units. I see. Yeah.
Then I wrote the explanation. It was, I budgeted, you allowed me to have it, but I'm a little bit over, but my other couple items come in cheaper, so I should balance out
Okay.
pretty close.
And these should run better than what you have in there, the window units you have in there now.
Right.
Yes, and that way I'll have heat too, because now if the heat goes out, when the electric turns back on, they won't restart.
Hmm.
So at least I have heat in there to prevent the water pipes from freezing up.
Yeah. Well, I'll motion to approve resolution 600-22.
Do we have to read it first?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'll demonstrate.
Okay.
Resolution number 600-22, a resolution of the city of Burnsville authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute an agreement with Crystal Heating and Cooling for the purpose of 2 separate indoor units. Any additional discussion?
Second,
There's no additional discussion. The resolution will be read for its second and final time. A resolution number 600-22, a resolution of the city of Burnsville authorizing the mayor to enter into execute an agreement with Crystal Heating and Cooling for the purpose of 2 separate indoor units. Now we need a motion and a second and a roll call vote.
Why do we have to read resolution twice? I thought that was only for.
Yeah, ordinances are twice. Resolution should be once. Now we've added to our duration.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was on the
Okay.
spot.
What can you undo? Hit the undo key.
It's hot.
Yeah, so just one read and then, okay, so can I get a motion on resolution number 600-22, please?
I'll make a
I'll
motion
make-
to approve resolution number 600-22.
Second,
Second,
Mary,
I,
Galen,
Aye.
Cindy,
aye.
Glenn.
Yes.
Okay, now, item C, resolution number 601-22. Could we have a reading of that, please?
Yes, I'll read it. Resolution number 601-22, a resolution of the city of Burns Mill, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute an agreement with Current Inc. Electric and Communications for the purpose of electric at Recycle/Public Works Building for the new HVAC unit and municipal complex for the police sign, trailer, and building. So are we running electricity to the building or are we going to use solar for the building?
Part of
building?
this is, Oop, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering what building we're even talking about here. So go on, Bob.
The first part of it is to my building, to the new unit. The second
Right.
part is up there to Hall. The sign trailer that the chief's got, when it needs electric, he has to run the electric cord across the driveway.
Hmm.
My concern is when it's snowing and that cord is on there and nobody pulls it up or we forget about it, we're going to snag it.
Yep.
And then also with this building, if we have to have electric over there for something, it's there. It's kind of
Okay.
like a dual purpose. The building come up after I had already got a bid just for the sign trailer. So we just went ahead and put building on there in case we need electric in the building. It's there
Uh-huh.
also.
So
Okay,
you'll put a big enough box out there that they can tie into it and run it on out to the new building if we choose to.
Yes, I get carried away. I put a little bit more than we normally need, so it's
That's
there.
good. I'd rather do a little more than not enough. So
right.
Something always crops up that you need more.
sure does. Well, we'll be going to electric police cars soon. So
So you're going to put the box at the base of the light pole then, something like that around there?
It'll
With-
be around the base of the light pole or it'll be right around it right there.
Okay,
so electric will already be outside the the asphalt.
on the other side,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Good.
the light pole. We're gonna try to run it in the original conduit that goes underneath the asphalt to the building.
Okay.
We just need to add a couple wires in there.
Good luck with that. So
Yeah. Well, I make a motion to approve resolution number 601-22.
Second,
Mary,
I,
Galen,
Aye.
Cindy,
aye.
Glenn.
Yes.
Okay, last item up, we have purchasing credit card agreement with Enterprise. Stop using the Commerce Bank credit cards.
Here still 418, we were shot still with heavy on water.
Allison?
2 days.
Hey, I hear some weird background noise. Okay, so these are, this probably more on this in closed session, but because there's a contract, but basically all of our credit cards are through Commerce, but we're banking with Enterprise. And so we're going to use Enterprise credit cards so that everything's in the same place is the long and short of it.
Okay,
Makes sense.
Yep.
sounds good. Will we have a resolution next meeting on that, or just for information? I don't know if we even have.
I think
need to
this
have-
is, yeah, because we're not spending any money. We're just switching them over and we already banked there. So I think we're good.
Okay, all right. Very good. Now moving on, item number 11 here, legislation unfinished. I don't believe we have any. Item 12, legislation new, nothing there as well. So jump into item 13, administrator's report. Allison?
So I'll just go over briefly a couple of things that we're working on right now. For the courts, we're working on getting the e-warrants put in so that we're able to more efficiently get our warrants entered into the system instead of having to do them by hand. We are also working on putting together checklists for all of our different permitting, occupancy permits, building inspections, commercial and residential pavilion rentals, just so we get on the same page and things aren't falling through the cracks. Amy, Joe, and Monica are working on reconciliation of bank accounts. So we're working on that right now. We're also working on getting an inventory together. We haven't done one for a few years to make sure we have one central location of all of our computers and with serial numbers, phones, everything that's valuable. So the police department has one, Bob has one, and we're just going to get the admin side together and put a master list together. We are also working on getting the software that the board approved installed. There is an 18 to 24 month wait for that to be fully installed. So we are looking at other options to see if something comparable can be used early, but that's more to come on that later. And that's really all I have. In case any of you are wondering, I'm at City Hall on Tuesday. So if any of you are looking for me, you're welcome to pop in or give me a call if you've got any questions or concerns or anything you need on the agenda. But overall, things are operating fine. We've started doing Tuesday staff meetings so that we can make sure that we're all working on something and we all know what we're doing. So things are going fine. And we have posted the job for city administrator, which is my number one priority to replace myself. And we've gotten some interest. We're going to leave that open until September 30th. And then hopefully the second meeting in October will bring forth some candidates for you all to interview.
And do you want to talk briefly about the interview process, how we're going to handle that?
Yeah, so we've gotten quite a few interests. Some people are just not what we're looking for, like like in Peebly, we got one for a person that was a sandwich artist at a Subway, and like some of our resumes have been similar to that. So those can kind of get pulled out right away. I'm looking for people that have either a degree in city administration or substantial experience. We're hoping to narrow that down to about 10 candidates, and then have a small panel of staff, and Rob, myself, Frank, probably the clerk, and maybe Andy Hickson, who's an admin from Peebly, said he would also sit in, where we could ask these 10 candidates questions. We'll ask them the same 10 questions, and then we'll do a ranking of 1 to 5. And then whoever has the most points, the average between the people sitting in that interview, the top 3 or 4 will bring to all of you to do interviews with.
So it's a two-step process. We'll try to do some screening and select the best candidates. And at that point, we'll maybe bring, like Allison said, 3 to 5, just depending on what the quality of the group we got to the board, and let you guys run through the similar process with them.
That sounds great.
So
that's all I got.
Okay. And do we also want to, I'm sorry, Allison, I don't mean to jump in. Do we want to talk about the compute support too? We met with
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you know more about that than I do.
Okay. We met with a company called St. Louis Compute, I believe last week, and they gave us a proposal, two options to provide computer support, network support, and everything for City Hall and the police side. We've sort of outgrown what we're doing now with the one person that was supporting us. Has just gotten too big and too complex. So they put together a very nice proposal. Bob Prado and I sat in on the meeting with Allison and Amy, Joe, and Monica. So they did a nice job. Bob was going to get one other company that he was familiar with that did this type of work as well, to get a competitive price from him, just to sort of see where we were with this, because everything looks great on paper, but when it comes down to it, we want to make sure we're getting a good value for what we're optioning in here for. But their assessment, basic assessment they did is we really need to get things sort of organized and more centrally focused. Maybe put a local file server in. I'm more of and Gail and I know you're that way too. Let's just use cloud services if we can, but some of the things may overrun our bandwidth trying to push it out to the cloud. So we may have to have localized storage and then offsite that in the evenings or on the weekends and something along that lines. So
Yeah, as Frank knows, it's very hard to manage video files.
yes, yeah. It'll just saturate our network. If we try to just work with SharePoint exclusively. So
right.
We'll do more on that. Hopefully we'll get something with them next week and we'll be able to bring these options to the board at the next board meetings, because we desperately need to get some support in there for this. There's just a huge variety of things going on and different systems all sort of running in different directions. So we want to get some standardization in there. And this St. Louis Compute Company, like I say, they do this type of support for other Frank, I think they didn't you say the ambulance district, the for Northwest?
Yeah, they do North Jeff and High Ridge Fire, and I know that about 4 months ago, North Jeff, they were able to help North Jeff out with a problem. So.
Yeah, and I personally know the captain up at the fire department there. He used to work with me in IT for years, so he's a very sharp guy, and if he's chosen him, I think that's a good suggestion too. So we'll see how these guys line up with somebody else, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that we've gone this long without this type of support.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately it's just the cost of our operating in this day and age. It's and it's
yeah.
Okay, moving on to department head reports. Frank, you want to go first?
Sure. You hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
We were notified by Jeffco 911 dispatch that we will be receiving 12 new portable radios with shoulder mics and chargers sometime in November, early December. We are not going to be charged for those. They're worth radios a minimum of $5,000 each. So we're getting all brand new portable radios. The department attended a Sleep Safe event at the High Ridge Fire Department. This event featured resources for new parents and how to keep their newborns safe, and one of our officers will be receiving training from that event on car seat safety and installation, which qualifies us to receive free car seats for parents in need. Was a guest speaker at the International Overdose Awareness Day event last Wednesday at the Jefferson County Library. I attended a Jefferson County Backstoppers board meeting actually earlier today. I attended a training meeting at the Missouri Police Chiefs Association in Jeff City last Friday. MIRMA conducted our semi-annual virtual firearms training with all of our officers last Monday here at the City Hall. Our flock cameras should be installed by the next board meeting. I'm working on that right now. I am still not able to find a vicious animal control resource. I have no idea where else I can look at this point. And I applied for 3 separate grants through MIRMA for equipment. They pay 70% of certain items, so I'm waiting to hear from them if we get some of these items. That's it.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to Bob.
We finished the Upper Burnsville Clearview culvert project a couple days early last week. And another culvert up the road we got done at the same time, and the one tree in the S-turn taken down that was dead. That's all I have right now, and been picking up trash. So
Yeah, there's a lot of trash. I'm just amazed at the amount of stuff out there laying along the road. It's just especially those little, and I keep talking about it all the time, those little single plastic shot bottles that you buy at the Circle K. I mean, I've cleaned up, weed eated up by the road earlier, and there must have been 10 or 12 of them there. Just my pockets get full.
So Bob, what did you decide to do with that, the culvert up there on Frank's Road that I talked to you about?
I have MB West working on a price quote to do that road from one end to the other, fix a couple spots that are bad on it right now. They're still working on that quote.
Okay.
So I should have it by next board meeting.
All right, that sounds great. I'll let them know.
Okay,
All right, appreciate it.
no problem.
Okay, thank you, Bob. And good work on the work there, Clearview and the other culvert there. Nice to see it nice and cleaned up, and especially that tree on the S-turn too. That was getting pretty dead. So, all right, moving on. Commission reports. Allison, I don't believe we have any commission reports, so we'll move on to mayor.
No, we don't.
Okay, so for mayor's report, just wanted to touch on, we had Clean Stream that we had, was it on August 27th, I believe it was. So this is our group that started out. We had a nice bunch of people. I believe there's going to be an article in the Leader on this, but this is everybody in a clean state up there at Rockford Beach. A few people had already taken off. You can see somebody over here on the other side. I think that's somebody whose last name begins with Shebley, maybe. So, John's always very impatient, wants to go. So, but anyway, we had a very good turnout of people, and it was a wonderful event. And that, so
Great. That's
yeah,
great.
Yeah, it's in the Leader because I've received mine and I
Okay.
read it. It's a nice article.
Oh, great. And this,
So,
I got a couple of
Thank you,
pictures.
Caitlin, Mary.
This is us coming down the river here, collecting tires. As you can see, we got the
My
boat
goodness.
loaded up. We collected a total of 85 tires this year, a little bit less than what we've collected in previous years. But still, it's a good year, and it's nice to see getting a few less here. This fella here, you may recognize him. That's our Jason Matthews.
Mhm.
Enjoys helping, but there's no room for him in the canoe at that level. It just gets just piled full of tires, and so it's and most of the river you can walk along too, so it's not too stuffed or too deep. This here is just showing, Bob, I know you had to move this tire. I'm sorry about that. It was that rim on there, that thing must have weighed 350 pounds. It was pretty heavy. It almost sank the boat when we got it in there. So it worked out well having the dump trailer up at Beach Drive, so we could fill it. This is the city dump trailer.
Wow.
And that way we used to just dump everything here in the sand, and then Bob and Brandon have to come down and load it up then on Monday. But we thought, well, we can get the trailer down there on Saturday morning and fill it full, then they can pick it up Saturday. Brandon was able to pick it up Saturday evening, so it wasn't any risk that it would be stolen, and save them the effort of handling all the stuff twice or three times. So it worked out relatively very well. So, and we've already seen that one. And here's the last one of the group, a little bit dirtier. Oh, I've got two screens here, sorry. But it all turned out very well. So thank you to everybody that helped, and that was a successful event. And we did get Blue Owl gave us donuts in the morning, and then we had a company called Sika Industries out in Fenton. A friend of ours works there. She was able to get $150 worth of Domino's pizza for us. They donated that along with $50 for water and soda. So it turned out to be once again, like I say, a very nice event. And
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
all right, then moving on, public forum. Amy, was there any questions submitted by anybody that would like to address the board?
No, there was not.
Okay, all right. Then we'll move on to request for closed session. I do think we need to have a moment in closed session. So can I get a motion?
Yes.
I move to adjourn to closed session for purpose of closed meeting, closed record, closed vote pursuant to RSMO 610.021, 1 legal, 2 real estate, and 3 personnel.
I'll second.
Mary,
Aye.
Ellen,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
and Glenn.
We lost Glenn.
Is he going to be back?
Not tonight. Did
No,
you
but
need him?
I mean, is he going to be in cellular range again?
Oh, it's spotty.
You want me to try?
Well,
Hang
we
on.
need to adjourn.
Oh, so you need him to adjourn. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah, can we get him on the phone again? And then we gotta go into close for a minute.
So, Bob, were those tires, was it like a combination of new and old? Or are they
Yeah.
mostly?
Most of them are older tires, some
Yeah.
big white walls and stuff. There are a few newer ones, but the majority of stuff is just older. They sit in the river and the gravel bars and that, and every flood they sort of get sort of unearthed and sort of stirred up. There's a couple areas that we know in the river where they tend to sit. So where we were cleaning up, where at those pictures where you saw Jason and that's
Right.
right along the motors big field there down from the maintenance shop and that, and it's just common that we typically get 30 to 40 tires just out of that one area. It's just sort of snag up in there.
I think, is Glenn back on?
He
I
is
see
not.
him.
No,
Oh,
no, I changed the name.
Do you want me to try to call Glenn, Deb, or did you? Or-
I'm trying and he's not answering.
so, I guess in case we don't get Glenn back, I, I don't know if we want to, I need to hire someone. So I'm going to need to talk about it at least. It doesn't necessarily need to be done in closed session, as we'd have to report it out anyway. But you guys, if Glenn doesn't come back, you're going to see an email asking to hire someone, and I'll need you to respond to the email. Otherwise, it's just going to be another 2 weeks before we can get him in here.
What's the job, Allison?
It's a deputy clerk position for the courts, because we only have the courts open and available to take payments 4 days a week, and we need to get somebody else in there trained, so we have somebody else that knows what's going on. So Arnold agreed to, they've got a part-time girl, and she said she would come over and do a day or two a week for us too. So that's who she is.
Okay, I think that we talked about that before, and we know we need to do
Yeah.
that.
And this girl
Yeah,
has good experience, so she knows what
Yes.
the process. So it's not somebody just off the street.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that way we have the courts available all the time for payments.
Yeah, and it also, there's a lot of ASCA rules and whatnot. And so it allows for another person to, for checks and balances within the court system itself, which I think is important.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Well, it
Yeah,
also
so you,
will take the load off of Amy, Joe, and Monica too, because when Elise isn't there, they're trying to do their work, and then somebody comes up to pay a fine or something. They try to do the best they can with that, and it's so it interrupts their day, and it's not just here's the money. It takes 10-20 minutes to process that. I understand, so it's not a just quick thing.
yeah, it is. It's disruptive. And, Elise, rightfully so, has vacation and sick time, and she gets sick and she goes on vacation, and that just further overloads the girls that are there in the office every day, so we got to get somebody in there. Like I said, she's experienced, she knows show me court. So I think it will hopefully be an easy and smooth, training and transition just for her to perform those services for us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all for it.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
We'll send an email out to vote for that.
Yeah,
Okay, can I bring something up?
sure.
We were, Galen and I were at the last uni meeting that we have at the firehouse. And Todd Tracy was there and he was asking if he could come to the board and explain what the EDC does and request us to contribute again. So something to think about.
Weren't we supposed to be with the sewer district too?
The sewer district is gonna come to the next board meeting.
Oh, okay.
The next board meeting, especially if we don't go into closed session at this meeting, is gonna be long. So we're
So
gonna have a lot.
not to interrupt you, but real quick, I have Glenn back on the phone.
All right,
Hey,
let's
Glenn.
Yes,
adjourn
sir,
this
right now.
meeting and then adjourn and go into closed. So we just
So-
need Glenn to vote yes, I think.
So Glenn, thanks for rejoining. We were just calling for exiting to closed session. So the motion is carried to Mary, Galen, and Cindy, and it's up to you.
I think I'll go, yes.
That was a yes. Very good.
All right.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for joining tonight. Have a
Are
good
we
evening.
trying to go into closed then?
Do you need him for closed?
Do we need to, Allison, really?
Yeah, I'll need him. Well, we can't call the closed meeting we can't open closed without him in it.
Correct. Yeah, do we need to?
Okay, I have to
closed,
send him an invite and I will right now.
I mean, it's okay. We can do it at the next meeting. It's just gonna be long. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. But I think we're gonna have a hard time keeping a quorum.
Yeah, I do too. So why don't we just push this off till next meeting? And so we will not go into close tonight and we'll just have the adjourn the meeting. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second,
Galen,
Aye.
Mary,
aye.
Cindy,
Aye.
and Glenn. All right, that was a yes. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Okay, good.
everyone.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you all. Bye now.
Good night. Leave the meeting. Leave the meeting.